Meeting with the native people on the other side of the world. Electric currents penetrate the brain and the heart's beat without knowing who they are. It touches our roots, drawing us together. We cringed at the sight of the vehicle that came all the way from Encinada, Mexico, to pick us up at LA airport. It was not what we expected upon our arrival in the US. To make things worse, after a short ride, a tire burst and the van came to a wiggly halt. We were stranded on the highway for 4 hours and impatiently waited to be rescued. 12 people met at Seoul Incheon Airport, several of us meeting for the first time. While waiting on their highway bridge in the LA area, we bonded rapidly as we relied on each other for emotional support. Soon, policemen came and warned us to stay in the ditch to avoid a possible gun shooting. This is State Art Center in Encinada, Baja California, Se Arte Outdoor Stage. This is the first time a Korean traditional group performed in this city.
Good evening, everybody.
Forgetting the difficult trip we had on the way here, our team full-heartedly entertained the residents of Encinada. They in turn gave their full attention to our performing team. The theme is heart connection. As our hearts met, we all bonded and a sense of oneness emerged. A meeting of the hearts is the first step to becoming Hongik Ingan, the people who benefit the world.
Koreans and Mexicans, it is all about the heart.
Y no se trata de coreanos y mexicanos, todo se trata de...
And I welcome you to this path.
Te invito a este camino.
It is not about religion.
No se trata de religión.
It is about...
As we discussed the topic of Hongik Ingan, a wave of resonance spread around the room.
a society that is our dream.
Se trata de crecer y despertar y crear una sociedad que es nuestro sueño. Podemos aportar y beneficiar al mundo.
Through meditation, we breathed deeply together. When the performance was over, people came up on stage and held hands, moved their bodies, laughed, and connected with each other. New energies moved through us and amongst us. We sensed a refreshing current of love. Today is the final day of the Korea Mexico Festival. Napenda drove us to Rancho Los Trovadores, an hour away from Encinada.
Sí, pues ellos son los coreanos que van a estar dando la
Mrs. I didn't know you coming.
Those who arrived early greeted our arrival with a warm welcome.
Hello.
Groups of local people busily set up their shops for the festival. Here comes Lalo with Danny of Kumeyaay tribe. According to their custom, we exchanged gifts, tobacco wrapped in a red cloth, and medicine that Lalo had prepared himself. Flags of the two countries were brought in to mark the Korea Mexico Festival. Jeju Samdasu water brought from Korea and Mexico water were poured into a bowl, symbolizing a unified spirit of the two nations.
It was a very big blessing sharing with all of the people that are coming here and being part of this ceremony. It's a big blessing. That's all I could say. It's very beautiful, and thank you. Thank. Yes, thank you. Much love.
Mexico's indigenous dancing team appeared, dressed in their colorful costume, passionately playing their drums. We were instantly absorbed by their bliss. We danced together in the dust as one fluid body. Half an hour later, I was called into the circle and the lead dancer said, "Now our hearts are open. Give us your message."
Permanent, persistent, perennial values. In today's world,
While the festival went on outdoors, the rancho living room was transformed into a makeshift clinic for Oriental medicine. Doctors Todam and Yaksan treated people eagerly waiting in line.
Who is she? Karina.
she's Carolina.
What, GC? Before you get, you take
The Mexican native dancers who performed yesterday in colorful outfits embellished with feathers came back this morning dressed in plain clothes before we left the rancho. They brought their instruments and we all rejoined and rejoiced. The people of the two nations danced and sang for each other for a good while. And then it was time for long hugs and goodbyes. We will forever remember and miss these moments. Everyone's heart opened and beat together in unison. Yesterday we crossed the border into the United States. Today we are on our way to Navajo Nation. We are planning 3 days and 2 nights at the Navajo Reservation in Arizona.
뭔가 막 부풀어 오르네요. 마음을 진정하면서 차분히 그 이틀 동안 정말 역사를 인디안의 역사를 조용히 차분히 짚고 갈까 합니다.
들어오는 순간부터 여기가 인디안 마을이 이 사람들의 어떤 힘들게 살았던 거를 알 것 같아요. 그래서 밤을 자면서 아침에 일어나니까 마음이 빨리 가고 싶은 마음. 들어가서 그 사람들을 빨리 보고 싶어요.
누구를 깨닫게 해야 될 대상이 있는 것이 아니고 깨어나야 될 존재는 나라는 어떤 제약에서 깨어나야 될 존재는 나뿐이기 때문에 또 나바오에서 어떠한 그 일깨움이 나를 기다릴지
준비가 됐습니다. 네. 좋은 것을 경험하고 나눌 것입니다. 그리고 배울 것입니다.
I feel great. I feel very honored to be a part of this experience, to become a part of this Korean contingency, to move forward, to make a very powerful contribution to changes in this world.
Okay. Oh, it's us that we have to worry about.
I'm going to turn the air.
Without knowing what will happen on our Navajo trip, we are driving there with just a wish to interact with the Navajo people and to offer them our gifts and friendship. Driving us there is Luann. She was married to a Navajo man, had 3 children, and lived 30 years on the Navajo Reservation. As we listened to her account of the Navajo boarding school, we prepared ourselves for our visit. Navajo Indians were living in a vast land up until 1863, when they were moved out and put in internment camps. In 1868, they returned to their homeland within the 4 sacred mountains, which was now called a Navajo Reservation. We walked through Canyon de Chelly, where the white soldiers had destroyed all livestock and food, forcing Navajos into captivity. The Navajo Reservation is held in trust and is managed by a Bureau of Indian Affairs. Navajo can neither buy or sell their land, nor can they use it as collateral for bank loans. Now we are heading to the Rough Rock Community High School.
Did you know that we all come from the same...
At first it was awkward between us. The students looked disinterested. We wondered, would they accept us?
When a baby is born, Koreans and the people with the same DNA have a blue spot when a baby is born.
Then Papa courageously stood up and asked everybody to stand up and push the chairs back and make a circle. They followed instructions and moved their bodies, then concentrated on their breathing. Responding to the open hearts of the Korean visitors, they relaxed and started to open their hearts as well. Then something unexpected happened. This man with no smile on his face came out and grabbed a microphone and started singing. He is singing a Navajo song. He is expressing his appreciation for us. It melted our hearts.
students were very taken by what you presented.
Our time was very short, but the songs and the prayers we exchanged with each other bonded us deeply. We developed nostalgic feelings toward each other even before we left and looked forward to meeting again. At Rough Rock High School, we had another serendipitous encounter. This is Apache Geronimo. We met his great-granddaughter, Grace Curly Hair, a student counselor who offers traditional Navajo guidance when the Rough Rock students needed help. As Grace and Southern Shield, shamans from opposite sides of the world, held their hands tightly, looking like long-lost sisters. Their facial and energetic resemblance was striking. Whenever we open our hearts wide and look, voila! There is our life's home base, 생명모성, life's essence. It exists in everyone. When I first see it and step forward to honor it, it lifts its head. 생명모성 is the roots of our human spirituality. One life, divine motherhood. Our magnificent journey into the hearts has only just begun. Our time with the Navajos was very short, but very deep. Our connections are opening a new horizon. The Navajo school principals expressed their interest in coming to Korea, as did Lalo of the Kumeyaay tribe. Lalo will come to Jeju next year and build a sweat lodge and perform sacred rites. The 생명모성 people will take the first step toward the Global Native Festival on Jeju Island next year. With all the opportunities for open-heart connection, 2014 and 2015 promise to be illuminating and meaningful.